what's up, guys? Wanted to kind of go over this because I see a lot of people asking me about this in my other video about how to deal with a false INAD, or item not as described. And so this just actually happened to me, so I kind of wanted to just go over it and tell you the two basic solutions that you have when somebody says their item didn't arrive. And so this is an item not arrived case. They will open a case with you or just message you early, but if they do open a case, now it's the burden of proof is on you. And so you have two options whenever somebody says their item didn't arrive. So the first thing you have to do is check the tracking, right? Like you check the tracking and see whether the item actually was delivered or whether it wasn't delivered. If it was delivered, then you're good. The tracking is your friend. Once an item is delivered, your burden is completely gone. There's nothing that you have to do. The item could get stolen off of their porch for all you know. So you can't really guarantee delivery after the USPS marks the item as delivered, or FedEx, or whoever you sent it with. So the tracking is really, really important because it sets you free, right? It proves that you don't have anything else to do. And so as long as the item is showing delivered to the area or to the address that they specified on their eBay account, then you're going to win the case. So then what I always do then is just copy and paste the tracking number because when they click tracking, it would show that it's delivered, but they're saying it's not. So you basically just put that in the case and show update tracking number, or update tracking information, I think is what it says. And so you just put that in the case, and then I mention hey, this item is showing as delivered by the United States Post Office on this day. As long as it was within a reasonable amount of time since you shipped, you're going to win. And so it has to hit that delivery window, right? If it's really, really late, then you're going to lose. But as long as everything went as it was supposed to, you sent it on time by the ship date, it was delivered within the delivery window, it's marked as delivered, you upload that and just kind of make a note about that in there and say, hey, I don't really know what else to do here. The item is showing as delivered, so my burden is complete. For all I know, this item could have gotten, stolen off their porch, and so they need to check the area for possible theft. I always put that kind of stuff in the note. And after the max amount of days, which I think is 3 to 5 days, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's somewhere between 3 and 5 days of the case being open, you call back that first day and you just say, hey, I updated the tracking info, they haven't closed the case, the item is showing as delivered and there's nothing I can really do about it. Boom, eBay will close the case in your favor and the funds will release back into your account. Now you'll notice that these funds are held in pending funds during the time that the case is open. So it's really important that you show that the tracking shows it's delivered, even though they could just check that themselves. I always just do it anyways because you never know what eBay is going to do if you don't kind of reply to the customer and at least offer them some type of customer service. And remember, at the end of the day, this is another customer that might not understand that the item is showing as delivered. They might not even have clicked on that. And maybe the item was delivered to their next door neighbor. I don't know. But they need to investigate that on their own if it shows delivered. So once that happens, the funds will release. It's pretty immediate that the funds release, and then you're good to go. The second way that you can combat this is if the item actually doesn't show delivered. There's really nothing you can do at that point. But as long as you sent the item UPS, FedEx, or USPS priority mail, or you insured a first-class package, you're not going to lose anyways. Because what you're going to do is you're going to close the case by refunding the buyer, because it's not their fault that the item didn't arrive either, and they paid money, and you're not really going to fight them. What you're going to do is close the case and refund the buyer, and then you're going to go to USPS.com, UPS, or FedEx. UPS is definitely the hardest, and you're going to file an item lost case, a lost item case. And 9 times out of 10, as long as it's, the item kind of got stuck at a distribution center and it hasn't arrived, and it's been a good amount of time that they've waited for the item to arrive, the USPS and FedEx are going to rule in your favor. Now UPS, you got to jump through a lot more hoops, but they will rule in your favor as well. And there's a maximum declared value, I think, of $100 on these cases. So if you sold something that's worth more than $100, you're kind of SOL on the extra money, but at least you get $100 back. The buyer doesn't leave you negative feedback. They are happy with the outcome of the case, and you're kind of protected. So those are the two possible ways that you can handle an item not arrived case. You can either dispute it, show that the tracking shows it's delivered, and as long as tracking shows it's delivered, you have nothing to worry about. You'll win the case. Or you can refund the buyer because the item doesn't show that it's delivered, and at this point, USPS or UPS or FedEx lost the package. Well, then you just file a claim through them, and a lost package claim is much easier to win than an item damaged claim. A damaged item claim is harder to win than a lost item, claim. And I said that twice, backward and forward, but it's the truth. You will win the lost item case way more often than you'll win the damaged item case. In fact, I'm about to just win one now because the item's been not delivered for months and months. Now remember, there's a 90-day limit on, I think, from when you sent the item to when you can open the case. So don't wait forever to open the case, or you will lose because the time frame has closed. So make sure you open that case. It's not very hard to open a case. I might have to do a video kind of walking through how to open a case through each of them, with UPS being the most ridiculously hard to do. I think they just make it hard so that you kind of give up and don't do it. But that's not a solution all the time, so especially if you sold something very expensive. And UPS will, I think, go up to $150 for you. Now, of course, if you insured the item, you want to file your claim through whatever you insured it, whether it was like SmartPost or Ship Insure or whatever all these different ones were. Pirate Ship, I think, has one. Just remember that certain things are excluded from those type of claims, including, I read this in the fine details, including baseball or sports cards that are inbound to grading centers. That's kind of a huge one because people buy insurance for that all the time, and if it's lost, you're not going to win that claim. Just wanted to throw that extra tidbit on here. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully it made you realize that if somebody files an item not delivered or item not received case, that you're going to win or you're going to get your money back, unless it's a first-class item, in which case it probably wasn't very valuable to begin with, unless you're selling like gold or something that's light, that's also really valuable. I can't really help you there. Insure those if they're worth a lot of money, though, because why would you risk losing it? I mean, the United States Post Office is not operating at peak efficiency right now. They will lose your stuff. They will break your stuff. FedEx breaks my stuff all the time. UPS is a lot better about it, but they are also more expensive. So, the devil's in the details there. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the page in the bottom left corner. Go ahead and like the video if you found it helpful. Comment what you've noticed, ways that, just comment your experiences with basically item not arrived cases or item not received cases. Now this is for eBay. On Amazon, it's basically the same way. They'll file an A to Z claim and you will just win because the item shows delivered, and Amazon will recognize that and put there that, if they leave any negative feedback, they'll automatically strike through that and say, like, the delivery issues were not at the fault of the buyer. They do that all the time for me because people don't understand, or not at the fault of the seller, rather, because people don't understand that as long as I ship on time and it shows delivered, there's nothing else I can do about it. I don't have like magic fairy dust that helps me realize what happens to the package once it's been delivered. In fact, there are a lot of porch thieves, and so I recommend a Ring doorbell or some type of video doorbell that watches people, because people are doing this. People are just driving around neighborhoods taking packages off porches. That's also probably a video for another day, but just wanted to put this out there and help you. So hopefully it was helpful to you, but go ahead and comment your experiences anyways. But in the meantime, keep on flipping.